Welcome back to the Explanation Pro. Today I'll recap an Indian crime thriller film called Hacked. Spoilers ahead. At the beginning of the movie, we see some policemen enter a gas station where they find a dead body. In the next scene, we see our main actress Samira Khanna, who is working in her office, and it gets very late. Samira seems to be waiting for someone who will never come back to her. After some time, when she comes out of her office, we see someone is clicking pictures of her secretly. She goes to a hospital from there, and there also someone clicks her pictures secretly as if someone is following her. Sam is in the hospital to meet her mother, who is in a coma for a long time. After that, she comes back to her society from the hospital and parks her car. Here we will see a cute guy named Vivek. The guy looks cute, but actually, he is very dangerous, and we will find out about this later. He helps Sam to get to her room, and then he comes back to his room. From there, he keeps an eye on Sam's room. Here we will see that he was the one who was clicking pictures of Sam. Then we see a scene where the watchman of Sam's office is telling police that Sam has always been very quiet. He thinks she may know some secret, or maybe she is someone's secret. The next morning, Sam's neighbor comes to her apartment to help her with her running tap. He comes there with a plumber. Here Sam gets a call from Om Kapoor, but she doesn't receive it. Here we come to know that Om Kapoor has betrayed her before. He pretended to be in love with her and have used her. Next, we see Sam is going to her office, and here Vivek arrives and asks for a lift. Then he goes to a mobile shop where he has given Sam's iPhone to be repaired. Instead of repairing the phone, the shop owner has destroyed it even more. Vivek shouts at him, but the shop owner behaves very badly with him and asks him to leave. Then we see Sam is in her office, but Om's manager comes there and tells her that Om is calling her. She refuses to go, but then she changes her mind and meets Om. Here also Vivek spies on her. On the other hand, Om somehow manipulates Sam and patches up with her. Seeing all this, Vivek becomes very mad. Om drops Sam to her society, and Vivek watches that as well. He gets madder at him now. Now we see Vivek finds out the real identity of the shop owner who insulted him in the morning, and he takes his picture and puts it on the most wanted criminal list. Later on, the police arrest him. But after realizing he is not a criminal and someone has pranked him, the police release him. Vivek was waiting for him in front of his shop. Seeing him coming out of the police van, he threats him that he has to give him a new iPhone now, otherwise his picture will be on the most wanted criminal list permanently. The shop owner gets scared and gives him a new iPhone. Vivek takes the iPhone and gifts it to Sam, as today is her birthday. Everyone enjoys themselves at the party, but Sam is not enjoying it at all as she is waiting for Om to come. But we can see Om is busy with someone else. So, when she realizes he will not come, she drinks a lot and gets drunk. After the party, Vivek helps her to clean the place. Seeing her like that, he tries to console her, but as Sam was drunk, she comes close to him and they both get intimated. But Vivek thinks that Sam is actually in love with him, and that's why she came close to him. The next morning, when Sam finds out Vivek is lying beside her, she gets very shocked. Just then Om arrives there and rings the doorbell. Sam gets so confused that she couldn't make her mind what she should do, as currently, Vivek is in her room. As she doesn't open the door, Om leaves from there. Sam then goes to her office. She is very absent-minded as she is thinking about last night. Seeing her so distracted, her boss scolds her a lot. Then Vivek arrives there with Sam's lunch, and he heard that her boss is scolding her. Sam gets irritated seeing him there and asks him to leave. At night, we see him working on his computer, and the next day we come to know that the share price of Sam's company has decreased a lot as someone has leaked all their important details. To investigate this matter, 2 experts are called in the company. Later on, Vivek calls Sam and tells her that he is the one who did this because her boss was scolding her that day. She asks him about this, and he replies that he is a hacker. Listening to it, Sam asks him to meet her in a coffee shop. They both meet there, and she asks him why he did it. Vivek replies that he can't tolerate any injustice towards her as he loves her. Sam gets shocked and tells him that she never thought of anything like this, rather she thought they are good friends. Hearing this, Vivek says that it's not right, that whenever she decides they're friends they become friends, and when she says they're lovers, they become lovers. He becomes very mad at her. Sam replies that whatever happened between them on that day was only a mistake and he should forget about it. She also tells him that he is only a 19-year-old boy, he doesn't even know the meaning of love. Hearing this, he says that now she thinks he is a little boy, but when she kissed him and she slept with him, then she forgot the fact that he is only 19. Sam becomes very angry and slaps him and leaves from there. Vivek couldn't stand this incident. He feels very humiliated. So, at night when Sam was sleeping, he goes inside her apartment and puts spy cams all over her apartment. Then he rents a gas station by saying that he needs it for his project. He sets all the screens there, and from there he is keeping an eye on her and on every move she is making. In other words, her life got hacked. After reaching the office, she gets the first shock. She realizes that everyone is staring at her. Her boss asks her why she did it. Sam, being confused, asks her what's the matter. So, the experts then come forward and show her that the information that got leaked was leaked from her email ID. Sam tries to prove that she has not done it, but her boss asks her to leave the office and suspends her. Sam then comes to the hospital to see her mother. There Vivek sends her an audio message by hacking her phone. The audio says that she has to accept him before 6 a.m. or else he will destroy her life. As the audio was not switching off, Sam gets so irritated that she throws her phone and breaks it. The next day Om comes to Sam. She tells him that the other night after the party, what she did was a mistake, but Vivek thought she was in love. So now he is doing all this out of anger as she rejected him. Listening to all this, Om says that he will handle him as he is just a little boy. He is going out of Mumbai for his shooting, so he suggests her to come with him. Sam agrees to it, but Vivek also finds out about it. In the next scene, we see that Sam and Om have arrived in Goa. In the middle of the shoot, they spend some quality time. Seeing all these, Vivek becomes angrier. After coming back to Mumbai, media surrounds Om and Sam at the airport. They ask them about their relationship as Vivek has already leaked an intimate video of them. Seeing all the media, Om ignores Sam and leaves from there. Later he says in an interview that he met Sam on the flight only while traveling. He also says that he doesn't even know her. Sam then comes to the hospital to meet her mother, and she sees Vivek is already there. He tells her that previously he wanted her to come to him on her own will, but now he will use her. He also says that he has leaked her hot videos on the internet and they are now trending on #1 and her life is hell now. Sam says that she will take her life back in her control somehow. So, in reply, Vivek says that she can't do that as nowadays our life is completely based on and depends on the internet. In the next scene, we see Vivek giving a dress to his housemate and commanding her to act like Sam. But as she was not looking like her after wearing the dress, he becomes very mad at her and beats her. The next day we see Sam lost her mother, and during her funeral, Om comes to her to console her. But she insults him and asks him to leave as she realizes now that Om was only pretending to love her. After some time, police arrive at Vivek's place and arrest him. At the police station, he comes to know that Sam has lodged an FIR against him. There the police beat him and asks him many questions, but he doesn't say much. So the police go outside to smoke for a while, and in the meantime, Vivek takes the police officer's phone and hacks it. He gets to know a lot of secret information about him. When the policeman arrives, Vivek confronts him about that information. The officer got scared and he decides to let him go. So now, Sam and Rohan have no other option than to take another hacker's help. But they didn't know that Vivek is a pro-level hacker. He hacked the laptop and TV previously, and using that he threats the hacker that if he doesn't stop doing his work and left Sam's apartment, then in every 10 seconds, 10,000 rupees will be deducted from his bank account. And immediately 10,000 rupees gets deducted. The hacker becomes so scared that he leaves immediately. After all this, Sam becomes very stressed and broken. Wherever she is going, she finds cameras all around her. Then Vivek comes to her and tells her that he is feeling pity for her by seeing her condition. And he also says that he doesn't even want to make her his girlfriend anymore, rather he will use her for sex only. He threatens her again by saying that he will destroy her life if she doesn't come to him of her own will. After listening to all this, Sam decides to punish Vivek. Then she and Rohan both came to the royal bar. Due to the loud music, Vivek couldn't listen to any of their conversations. Sam then tells Rohan that she will use his weapon to tackle him. He must have a secret and she will find out about this, and then she will use it against him. The next day Rohan follows Vivek and clicks pictures of his granny, and his maid. At night Sam goes through the pictures and realizes that the handbag which his maid was using costs more than lakhs, and for a maid it is next to impossible to afford such a costly bag. The next day they follow Vivek's maid, but Vivek comes to know about their location. So, Sam hands over her and Rohan's phone to one of her friends in the middle of the way so that Vivek isn't able to track their real location. After following the maid, they come to a mall and find out that the girl is coming out of a changing room wearing a modern dress. The girl also sees Sam in front of her. Sam then asks her why she works as a maid for Vivek. So, the girl replies that some days ago Vivek came to her shop to learn marketing. She never thought that Vivek is such a criminal as he looked so innocent. Vivek one day hacked her phone and gets to know many of her secrets. And he used that information to blackmail her. And so, just to satisfy himself, he uses her till now and kept her as his slave. Then the girl says that not only with her but Vivek had also blackmailed other girls in the past. Once he hacked one of his college mates' phone and laptop. Her name was Sheetal. He blackmailed her and later, he leaked her nude pictures all over the internet. The girl attempted suicide after that and died. Vivek got scared that police will find out about this, so he left his college. After getting all this information, Sam meets Rohan at a cafe and removes her SIM card from the phone, so that Vivek can't hear anything. But Vivek was smart. A long time ago he set up the Wi-Fi connection of that same cafe, so by using that he hacks it and listens to their entire conversation. Sam makes a plan that she will book a hotel room and will place cameras there, then she will call Vivek to meet her. She will blackmail him about his maid and Sheetal so that he leaves her alone. According to the plan, she calls him and asks him to come to the hotel. Vivek knows everything, but then also he decides to go there. So, Sam goes to the hotel room and waits for him to come. On the other hand, Rohan waits in the van and keeps an eye on the room with the help of those spy cams. Suddenly someone knocks on the van's door. As soon as he opens the door, Vivek throws a dart at him and makes him senseless. Then Vivek goes to Sam. There she tries to blackmail him, but he was way smarter. He shows Rohan's condition to her. He gave him a drug whose antidote is only with him, and if the antidote is not given within 3 hours, Rohan will die. Using this opportunity, Vivek blackmails Sam and tells her if she doesn't go with him then Rohan has to die. Sam finds no other option and goes to the gas station with him. There she finds out his granny, who is dead now. He reveals the truth that he is the one who killed her, as she came to know about his secret. Then Sam tells him that now he is in trouble, as it has been recorded already that Vivek went to the hotel and he came out with her. She threats him by saying that if she makes out of here alive, she will lodge a rape case against him. Hearing all this, he changes the timing of the CCTV footage and deletes the part where he is entering and leaving the room with Sam. Then he tries to molest her, but somehow she manages to hit him with her head and Vivek falls to the ground. Then Sam gets up and breaks the chair on him on which she was tied. The chair broke and she unties herself. Then she hits Vivek a lot. She beats him a lot with a rod and eventually kills him in the process. Then she takes the antidote from him and gives it to Rohan and saves him. After some time, the police arrive there. Later on, the investigator calls Sam. She replies that for some reason she stayed at the Grand Hotel and she knows nothing about this. And as Vivek already removed himself from the footage, he even changed the timing of his departure to 8 a.m. So, the police have no proof that he went there with her and they let Sam go. And at the end of the movie, we will see Sam decides to start a new life with Rohan. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe my channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video.